Hello my dear friend, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, this is Junice Plan With Me. 2022 is right around the corner. Today we're going to set up the yearly spreads together. And this time I decided to go with a pretty simple style with some vintage elements. Before we start today's journey, I want to quickly mention that the holiday sale in my online shop is still going on and it will end in a week. Check out junisonstudio.com and don't miss it. I hope it can make your holiday just a little bit better. And without further ado, let's start today's Bujo setup. For the journal of the first half year, I'm going to use this cute bunny and moon design from Notebook Therapy. This is an Autumn Festival edition, and if you've been with me for a while, you may remember the bunny pop-up I did last October, which is also my first pop-up design ever, so it means a lot to me. In 2021, I did 12 plus different pop-up spreads, and in the coming new year, I want to explore and bring more surprise to you guys. By the way, if you want to shop from Notebook Therapy, don't forget to use my coupon code JUNISON10. I'll receive a small amount of commission fee while you get 10% off on the entire order. I'll also leave the review video I did in the right up corner if you're interested. After putting down the name, no hurry to move forward because we're going to make a folding grid guide first. You may have seen similar design made by other Bujo creators. Basically, it's a cheating sheet with the number of dot space labeled as well as how many blocks it will be if you divide the whole page into 2, 3, or 4 columns and rows. For example, I'm using A5 size notebook, so there are 38 rows. And if you want to do, let's see, 4 sections layout for your weekly spreads, then each section will be 9 blocks with 1 space in between. By making this guide page now, I can save a lot of counting time later. Same for the horizontal piece. Labeling out 26 blocks, and depends on how you really like to do the spreads layout, you can change 1 block space to 2 if you prefer a bigger gap in between. Now I finished the 2 pieces, it's time to place them on. Make sure there's not too much overlay at the left up corner, otherwise it will be hard to fold back both of them. And here is how it will look like when you use it later. I hope my explanation is clear enough. I've tried using a whole page to do this grid guide before, but it turned out that sometimes I prefer to recount the dots while designing the layout, instead of flipping back and forth to match the dots. So I came up with this folding idea and started using it 6 months ago, and I really like it. I hope it can also help you to make your life easier too. In the right down corner, I did a simple collage with some vintage washi tape from the washi tape shop, and stamped the name grid guide on a piece of crepe paper, cut it out and glue it on top of the collage. This is my first time trying this style, and I'll also continue it to the following pages. And now let's move on to the first page of this setup. As you can see the pencil guide, I'm going to draw a typewriter. Just feel right for this whole vintage style, and I've been wanting to do this theme for a while. In order to have the typing effect I showed you at the beginning of this video, make sure to save 1 page before it, so we have a spot to put and hide the paper, just like inside of the typewriter machine. By the way, I'm not going to make a K page for this yearly setup. If you're new to Bullet Journal, I highly recommend you to check out the original design by Reader Corral. He created this bullet journal system and has his own key system to represent to-do tasks, in progress, complete, cancelled, delete, and others. I've been bullet journaling for 2 years now, so I developed my own system too, and no need to write down one more time since I've already have them in my mind. But feel free to make them into the symbols you like. As I mentioned earlier, in 2021, I had a lot of fun making pop-up cover pages and sometimes weekly spreads too. For me, pop-up was pretty new because I didn't get to have my own pop-up book when I was little, but now I want to learn and create more, and maybe one day my future kids can read pop-up books made by me. Anyway, in 2022, I decided to keep working on pop-up cover pages, so every month you can expect something interesting in my video. If you don't want to miss it, don't forget to click the subscription button and also turn on the bell so you receive notifications when I upload new videos. For this yearly setup, I'm actually not going to make it too complicated. so no 3D pop-up, but I do want this typewriter to work like a real one. Here I cut open where the paper should be placed on the machine, measure the opening size, and grab a thick beige color paper, cut into a long rectangle to fit in. In order for it not to easily fall off, I also add 2 little legs to stop it from going all the way up. As for the paper length, you can decide how long you want it to be. Here I cut extra long because I have a little special sauce in it. When it's dragged all the way down, there's about perfect a square space showing. I stamped Dear 2022 on it, make it look like a letter in progress. As for the rest, I'll use it to write some wishes and personal ideas I wish to happen or want to accomplish in the new year, which will be a secret, so I will do it later off camera. At the end, also don't forget to glue this page and the previous one together so no one can notice the secret conversation between you and 2022. On the right side of the spread, I'm going to do a year-end glance. Here I glue a page of craft paper on it first. Then to match the typing style font, I decide to use calendar stamp, as well as for the month title. I'll leave the links to the stamps and links in the video description down below, as well as all other supplies I use in this video for you. And now let's move on to the next page, which is yearly goals. In the center, I started with drawing some vintage style items like pocket watch, a pair of glasses, and a bug. Not necessarily representing all the goals I have for the new year, but I definitely choose them for a reason. Because the biggest thing I want to accomplish in 2022 is managing time better, no wasting life, and reading more books. But for breaking down, I have 5 big sections I want to work on. One is my career since I'm a full-time YouTuber now, and secondly, habits, still a lot to improve. And for the family part, I will try my best under the COVID situation. And health is also an important part of the goal, which you start to pay more attention to it as aging. The last section is for my big secret project, and I think I'll review it when I'm ready. Before moving on to the next spread, let me cut away the red edge to make the tag for it. I have to admit that I've been pretty obsessed with this tag design, and I think I used it for the last 2 yearly setups too, which turned out pretty useful. Here I make 6 in total. Depending on the length of the words, I give them 5 to 8 dot space each. You can also make it 5 or 7 tags, depends on how many pages you like to make. The next I'm going to make is future log. And since I yearly don't have too many events, I decided to place all 12 months in one page. If you have more appointments or want to use it as friend's birthday reminder, or maybe you want to track like body measurement in a monthly base, then feel free to divide this spread into 2 so there will be more space for each month. Actually, if you decide to have all 12 months here, maybe the year-end glance page is kind of redundant. Anyway, I'm here to provide some ideas and you can decide what fits your journal and lifestyle better. And honestly, I really think it wasn't a smart choice to use this huge number stamp here. But life is full of mistakes, as well as the bullet journaling process. And it's okay. We'll come back to save it later. Moving on to the next spread, I call it schedule. It's actually just another way to do future log, but let me explain the difference for me. By using this vertical calendar for every month, I can plan a task that may last for many days. Usually a video filming and editing which take different tasks every day for 1 to 2 weeks, or maybe a small family trip when I need to pause on work. But mainly this calendar is for work-related things. In this way, I can separate my personal life in the previous future log page and only focus on work in this schedule page. As for making this spread, I cheat a little bit by printing out the dates on a black strap sticker paper. My number handwriting is terrible and I'm not a really patient person, so this is the best way for me to have all 6 months on my journal. Oh, by the way, I only did 6 months here because based on my experience, I usually need to switch journal around the middle of the year, so I plan to only use this notebook from January to June. After highlighting the weekends with Tumble N75 light gray, it's time to work on the next spread. I spent a little bit of time and effort to decorate this page because this is where I write or draw down all the pop-up ideas. Remember, I used to have breakdown page in my old monthly setup, but later I don't do it anymore because for most of time, the ideas I wrote down won't be done in the same month. So I decided to have a place in the beginning of the notebook to collect all the thoughts and ideas. If you have that type of problems too, or you just want to find a spot to write down the quotes you'll find during the year, this spread is perfect for you. I'm not a heavy washi tape user, but I've seen people doing really cool collage to make a piece of art by putting tapes together. And I guess this is my first time trying, and I think I start to understand the fun of it. Except I used too much force while cutting and almost cut through the paper under it. Anyway, this is for my idea page. I try to leave enough space to fill up in the next 6 months. Moving on to the next spread, I start with drawing a huge paper roll. Here, I'm going to use it to track my collaborations. Thanks to every single one of my subscribers, I started to be able to work with different brands for collaborations in the past half year. There were actually a lot of chances, but I try to be careful with what I put into my video and what I recommend to you guys because I want to be responsible for what I say and the products. So in the meanwhile, I also want to say thank you for your understanding because as a full-time content creator, making money is not easy as a small YouTuber. So yeah, speaking of making money, this page can be used as saving tracking. Just need to change the subtitles based on your case, like month name, income, bills, spending, and saving. Basically, this type of border decoration, you can use it anywhere you want. Doesn't take much space, but make the page more full and fun. On the next page, I start with drawing a lot of empty boxes. Well, it looks pretty boring right now, but you'll see how it turned out in a later flip-through video. Here is what I made for 2021. Yes, it's a video tracker. I'll probably not be able to upload that many videos like this year, but I think the result will still be pretty interesting. So if you just make Bujo for your personal use, this page can be used for a yearly summary where you can redraw all the cover pages from each month, and trust me, it will bring you a lot of satisfaction at the end of the year. On the right side of this page, I'm going to use it to track my follower numbers on the 3 main social media platforms I'm using right now. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram, don't forget to check Junie Sun Xiaomei. I receive people's recreation there and also shared in my IG stories. Moving on to the last page, I want to make use of this vintage paper I've been collecting. Collaging is never something I'm good at, but I'd always love to give it a try. I added the footage to cut away a lot of struggling moments, and now it's time to put on the quote I chose for this year. Never underestimate the power you have to take your life to a new direction. I had so many times doubting myself, doubting the way I chose, doubting my ability, and I'm a person who's scared of future unknown a lot, maybe because of lacking of confidence, or maybe I'm just scared of the scare itself. But most of the time when things actually happen, it's not a big deal and I can handle it perfectly fine. So there will be a lot of challenges in my 2022, and I hope I can be more brave, trust myself, and be prepared for the new life directions. And I hope this quote can be helpful for you too. So yeah, that's pretty much all the spreads I prepared for my 2022 yearly setup. I didn't do movie and book tracker because I always print out the movie posters and place into my personal diary. And for books, I have a separate reading journal, so there's no need to repeat here, as well as the memory page. I know most of us are used to digital files and barely print photos anymore, so it would be a great idea to have a monthly highlight where you choose 1 photo per month. I did it too for the past yearly setups, but actually I've been keeping this habit of printing photos to place in a separate album for all the important moments since 2016, so I decided not to include it here in my bullet journal. But of course, those are great ideas. Feel free to add them in if it works better for you. As I'm doing some final decoration, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you who's been watching my videos, subscribing to my channel, supporting me on Patreon, and shopping in my online shop. You give me the chance to share my work with the rest of the world, and it's my honor to have you here. And here comes the final flip through. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end of this video. I hope I bring some idea or inspirations to you. If you like this video, please click the like button for it to reach more people and help this channel to grow. I will be working on the 2021 flip-through video very soon, so stay tuned for that. And at the end of this video, I hope you have an amazing 2022, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye!